One of the defining elements of rugby is another word, respect. There just seems to be so much demonstration of respect on a rugby field and in the whole sport of rugby. I'm talking to former Exeter Chiefs Carl Rimmer and Kai Horstmann. I'll start with you, Kai. There's been a lot of red cards in the Premiership over the last few weeks, yet there just seems to be a general acceptance that the rules have changed a bit, I've made an error, and there doesn't seem to be any dissent at all. That seems to be really prevalent and something that's always been in rugby. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think it's probably one of the cornerstones of the game, really, and that's what a lot of people attracts a lot of people to it. You know, that element of respect, and you can go into what is a very confrontational game, and then afterwards there's a mutual respect afterwards. I think having respect for the referee is something that's probably ingrained from a very, very young age, and I think it's continual as you go through the age groups. When you strip it right back, his decision is final. There's not a lot you can do about it. And then whatever your action has been, you've got to try and rectify it as soon as possible. And we often talk to, you get, unfortunate enough to get yellow carded. The quicker you get off the field, the sooner your time starts for the 10 minutes, the quicker you can get back on.
Well, what were your thoughts, Carl?
I mean, obviously the same. You're speaking to two blokes, played rugby their whole life. Obviously, I believe, and I know, Kai, and you believe, that there are very few sports with more respect in it, and it's certainly one of the best parts about the game. And I would advise any child, any young lad, any young girl, anyone to start playing rugby, even if it wasn't the sport for them after a few years or they didn't enjoy the sport itself, because of the fact that it teaches that foundation of respect for both player and officials alike. You don't think about it when you're young, but the fact that it goes the whole way through the game, regardless of where what you do for a living, what sort of family you're from, whatever. If you play a game of rugby, the group acceptance is that you're going to be respectful to the ref. Every now and then someone will lose their head and they'll shout at a ref, but all 14 other people are like pulling him back saying, no. It's just not an accepted behavior. And I think it's one of the best things about the game for kids to be able to look at. I've been doing it 20 odd years. Kai's been playing the game 60 years and nothing's changed. So it's fantastic, isn't it?
Interesting, Tim. Just another point on that. A good friend of mine's a school teacher. He was saying that he was refereeing a group of kids football and he refereed the same kids rugby. And when he was doing the rugby, it was yes or no, sir. And then the same kids in the football, there was a confrontation about his decision, left, right, and centre. And he found it a really extraordinary exercise. And I think, ultimately, that's a cultural shift that needs to happen. And it's only because the kids are looking at their idols and seeing them behaving like this that they think it's okay to do that. There needs to be big shifts in football to make that happen, really.
That is absolutely amazing.